Good morning. If you watched my last video, then you'll know that 𝐾𝐨𝐽 and I just moved onto 5 acres of pristine rainforest property. This has been my dream for a long time, and in this video, as promised, I am going to give you a tour of the whole property because honestly there's so much to show. I have big plans for this space. I want to make this place really self-sufficient, off-grid, and a space that we can all escape to. So I want this video to serve as a bit of a benchmark that we can all look back on and be like, this is what it was like at the start, and then see how much it changes as it progresses. Let's start right at the start with the driveway and work our way in. As soon as you arrive at the property, you are under no illusion you are in the wild, because as you can see, the whole fence line here is made up purely of trees and the forest around it. And my outlook onto my neighbour's property is also just forest. I have no neighbours, actually their dwellings within a kilometre of this house, which I do love because it means you can just purely hear the nature sounds, and I really want to share them all with all of you as much as possible. Here I am going to be installing a gate for a bit of added security, and as well as that, I probably am going to have to do a little bit about the letterbox situation. Alright, let's keep heading inside. As you enter the property, the first thing that kind of meets the eyes is this old original stable, which has definitely seen better days. It is falling down, it's not waterproof, and unfortunately it has to go. However, I do plan on reusing a lot of the material from there. I'd love to use it on different parts of the property and keep that kind of history where I can. In the meantime, it's a very handy little dry storage area until I can get a shed built on the property. I'm a little bit nervous for when I pull it down because it's kind of sketchy in here and I'm not too sure what I'm going to uncover. Like, look at this flooring. I'm literally scared to pull this up. Look. This is where the property really opens up on the right. This is our first look at my beautiful, quaint little cabin that I do have a lot of plans for. And then on the left here, we have Zach's van, and that is also going to be a space for anyone visiting with a van. For now, I have to say, sorry, it is just friends and family. However, that may change in the future. Now, before we do get into the cabin, I want to do a quick lappy of the property itself, because as a lot of you know, for me, this is more about the wilderness and the area we're in than the actual building. I just love this space. Yeah, how can you not with a view like this? For obvious reasons, this is one of my favorite spots on the property, as well as the epic view. It is also framed by these stunning old trees, and on top of that, it gets a lot of sun as well. I loved all the naming suggestions you guys have already put forward for the property. I want kind of names for each section, and for me, this one is La Ventana, which is the window in Spanish. Very appropriate. And now, I think it's time for some push-ups. So, as a lot of you know, I am taking part in the push-up challenge again this year, as well as quite a few of you from the 𝐼𝐶&x community, and we have raised almost $7,000. The goal is to raise 10,000. We need your help because we're getting towards the end of the challenge, and I have to say, it's been harder this year, guys. We're up to over 2,000 push-ups, and I'm feeling it. So please, any encouragement you could give is much appreciated. It all is for mental health, for suicide prevention charities, and speaking of mental health, this is a really good time to say a huge thank you to my sponsor, BetterHelp. As a lot of you know, I have been seeing a therapist through BetterHelp for over 2 years now, and I really attribute starting to see a therapist as a huge turning point in my own mental health. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and it's 100% online. It's super easy to get started. You just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences for therapy. That way BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether that's via text, chat, phone or video call. You can message them at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you would expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist that's more custom matched to you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Being alone with your thoughts can be a really isolating feeling that can allow negativity to consume you. If you are going through a hard time at the moment, please, please, please do not bottle things up. Let's make today the day. Head over to betterhelp.com/MaxandOckie, that's H-E-L-P. I'll put that in the description below as well. And they are going to give you 10% off your first month of therapy. Honestly, I couldn't recommend seeing a therapist highly enough. But for now, it's time to head into the deep woods. Spooky. With a property like this, it would be so easy to just stick to the cleared areas, but the truth is that about 50% of this property is still forested, and it is so beautiful in there. I'm still exploring different pockets of it, but come on in and I'll show you what it's like in the actual forest part. To give you reference to my property line, there is another creek that is about 50 meters further in, and that's the edge of my property on this side. So all this beautiful rainforest here with all the palms is all on my land, which I just still find unbelievable. How beautiful is this tree? Zach just pointed it out, and to be honest, I hadn't even seen this one on the property yet. That's what's going to keep happening. And for any tree experts watching, please feel free, I'd really appreciate it actually, if any tree I point out, if you in the comments want to tell me what they are, please don't feel like that's patronizing me or anything. I'm just learning, so I'd love to know more, and I'm sure other people would be interested. What is this beauty? Other than the perfect one to sit in. You coming up, Ock? Ock? Hey, Ock. Hey, Ock. Oi. Ocky. Ocky. Yeah. Oi. You can't figure out where I am. Ocky, hey, yeah, hello. He can't quite figure it out. Here, buddy. Don't you climb trees? Here we go. Yeah, buddy. I'm still here. Just a bear in his rainforest. I'm really keen on this area to be kind of incorporated in my design in terms of I don't want to never spend time in this area. It brings so much diversity to the property, and with that is the home to a lot of wildlife, and I just love it in here. It's so different, and I can't wait to show all my friends and family these spaces. Ockie loves it in here too, guys. On to the next. Honestly, I mean, Ockie was already a happy dog, but I feel like this place has given him a new lease on life. For those of you that don't know, Ockie is 12 years old and he's just absolutely thriving out here. It is so nice to see. Oh, come on, yeah. This next spot, I'm really excited to show you. I'll see you over there. Come on. How is this the perfect location for a tiny home? It is completely secluded, has its own spot. Come on, Oki. And yes, there is a better path in than this. Whew. We're gonna get those kilos off him in no time. Hey, come on. Hey. Oh, he's gassed. So as Zach's just shown you, there is actually a far better way to get to this tiny home site. So don't worry, you're not gonna have to bush bash if you do come here. Thank you, Zach. I'm actually just gonna take the camera off him for a second because I did want to say a huge thank you to Zach. He's come out here to help me film. He has some amazing stuff on his Instagram about the beautiful ocean life in the area. So check that out. I'll spell it correctly this time. It'll be down below here. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this different kind of format. In my view, it makes it a lot easier in terms of not moving the tripod all the time, but I think it also makes it better for you guys to follow. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And yeah, just a little bit more about this site. I think it would be the perfect spot for a tiny home. I'm thinking like outdoor bath, outdoor shower setup, overlooking the rainforest here. It gets perfect afternoon sun. Let me know, would you be interested in staying? Just a little filming break. My best buddy. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, then it will also be the first time you are seeing this absolutely majestic Moreton Bay fig. This tree actually played a huge role in me deciding to buy this property because honestly, I'm just blown away that I can be the new custodian on this land that has something just so damn beautiful and amazing. And I want to really spend some time around this tree. And if you look at these roots, they are massive, absolutely massive. A lot of you, as I said, have put up some great suggestions for names of the property. I think it would be amazing if we could somehow incorporate the fig. What a beast. Oki is the first of us to have a nap under the fig. He won't be the last. Just a quick toasty break. Little lunch break for the boys. Oki. Really enjoying my bed bang on the floor. We are refueled, we've had some lunch. Zach, this is choose your own adventure. You get the choice next out of the Veggie Garden or the creek. What do you reckon?
Creek.
Creek it is. Come on, Ock. And just so you have your bearings for where we actually are right now, as you saw, we've walked this path from the house site. If you followed the path around this way, you'd get back to the tiny home site. In the middle here is the beautiful fig, and down to our left here where we're about to head is the far border of the property. The property on this side is actually bordered by a creek that is on my land, and it is quite steep getting down. So Zach, be careful with yourself there and the camera. I have to say, this is kind of tricky to do without holding a camera, so we'll take it very slow. Watch out, that one's spiky. Oh, I almost did an ankle on the last step. Zach, I'm impressed. Well done. Oh. Too soon. For those of you that are observant out there, you'll notice the creek isn't currently flowing. This is a seasonal creek, and so essentially with that, it needs some heavier rainfalls before it does start going. But you can tell how powerful a creek has the ability to get by the size of the rocks or boulders within the creek. And if you look at the bad boy that's sitting under this beautiful tree, this creek can really flow, and it is actually one of the elements that saved my property from the flooding a couple of years ago when they had the worst floods on record, because a lot of the water coming off the mountain next to me there flowed down this channel, and it helped save the property. So it's really important in that regard, but it's also important as a backup water source because the place here is not on mains water, which means I need to collect all my own water. This is a good backup. I have a pump as well for when I need to use that. And it's also just a fun place to hang. I'm looking forward to seeing it flowing, hopefully in the near future. Not with floods though. Floods that was enough. Hey, you gonna swim in the creek? Before we do jump to the veggie patch, whilst we're on this subject of, I guess, utilities at the property, we do also have mains power, which is definitely an advantage, and I'm glad that it's here. But in saying that, I am going to be looking at installing solar because, as I said, I want to make this place self-sufficient, and, you know, who knows what disaster's hitting next. I don't want to be relying on the grid. There is also no reception out here, so I currently have Starlink set up on the roof, which gives me kind of internet reception within about 20 meters of the house or 30 meters of the house. And I'm actually loving that because as soon as I get further from the house itself, there's no reception, no internet, and you can kind of really just focus on actually being in this beautiful space. Welcome to the Veggie Garden. I have Steve to thank here because he already, as you can see, has pretty established in terms of, I think at the moment we have parsley, coriander, lettuce, and that may be it for now. However, obviously I have plans to expand it. I also want to make raised garden beds. Would love your suggestions here because I'm a complete novice with all of that stuff. So I'm going to be learning as I go, but I have a feeling that this is going to be pretty fertile grounds for growing. And one last thing before we leave the veggie garden is that you'll notice this wire fencing all around. Some of you may think that that's for rabbits. It is actually for the paddy melons, which are the little kangaroos that frequent this property. I've had the luxury of getting to know a few of them already. They've been eating the oranges that all fall down. Yeah, they love the veggies, so we've got to kick them out of there. I feel like we've covered so much, but we haven't even been inside the cabin in which I'm going to be living yet. The previous owner of this property was very, very land proud, and he's done such a brilliant job taking care of this land. However, he lived extremely simply in the house, and although I definitely want to still stay a minimalist, there is some changes that I think would really make this place feel more like a cozy home inside. So the first stop on the cabin tour is the laundry. There is an outside space for the laundry, and it was funny, my brother actually laughed when he saw the washing machine on the trailer when I was moving here because he, like a lot of other people, just don't associate me with owning a washing machine after living in a van for 6 years. However, owning one's pretty nice. Next to the washing machine and dryer, we have the hot water system. This bad boy is about 20 years old, and when you have a hot shower here, it lasts about 4 minutes before it goes cold. Good for keeping your showers short. However, it is going to need replacing because I want this to be a welcoming place for guests, for them to be able to enjoy themselves. Oh, you want to come inside, do you? Well, just be careful not to step on the welcome mat, alright guys? This is the living room, kitchen, and actually currently also my bedroom, as you'll see. I haven't bought a bed frame or a mattress yet, so this is actually my mattress from the van. I'm just holding off a little bit because I want to make sure I kind of buy once and buy right. I don't want to just buy stuff for the sake of buying it, and that's kind of the case with furnishing this whole house. So I'm going to make sure I only buy good things that are going to last. For example, my new fridge. This bad boy I'm very proud of. It has 7-star energy efficiency and food inside. Haven't had a new fridge in a very long time. Wow. This is probably first where you're going to see the simple side of the way this house is set up, in that It's very simple. There's not a lot of storage here with the way it's designed. I kind of need to remodel the whole kitchen. Another thing that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be knocking out the whole bathroom. So the kitchen is going to get a bit bigger and there's some other plans there. Let's go into the bathroom and I'll explain why. So this bathroom is the area I knew in the house that needed the most work. If you come in here, Zach, I'll actually show. I could actually push my foot right through the floor at the moment. Not a good sign. And the reason for that being is just with the way that this bathroom is being built, or perhaps over time, it's no longer waterproof when you have a shower. It's leaking into the floor, and that has caused rot of the floorboards, probably the bare underneath as well. And unfortunately, that wet wood has attracted termites. I've found a significant amount of termite damage in this area. So I have a termite inspector coming out to inspect the rest of the house, but it does mean this whole bathroom's got to go. And I figured whilst it has to go, why not kind of make the house a little bit more functional with the way I want it? So yeah, things are changing around here. This is the guest bedroom, the second bedroom of the house. At the moment, you can see it's kind of more of a storage space for miscellaneous items slash my surfboards. But this is going to be a really nice space for people to come and stay. If you continue through here, it was advertised as a third bedroom, but it's kind of, I think, a bit too small to be considered a third bedroom. Currently, it is the storage area for all my tools. Now you're kind of seeing why I need to get that shed built. The shed is going to have the workshop in it as well, so all my tools will be going there. And this space is actually going to end up being my home office. Some of you, if you watch my last video, will be confused because you're like, hey, didn't you have a great home office on the other side of the building? And yes, I do, but I've got plans for that space. So let's head that way. Constantly stepping over Rocky here. Now into this room. This is the main bedroom of the house. I really love this room because it has such a beautiful, it's also, sorry, where I'm hanging my washing, but it has such a beautiful outlook over the Veggie Garden and over the mountains there. So this is definitely going to be the main space. I'm going to build in some storage in here. This is actually another one of my great grandma's pieces. So I'm going to give this one some love, some TLC, keep this one going. Okay, final room. As I was saying, this space was the office and I love this room, but picture it, if you can, as a bathroom. There is going to be a freestanding indoor-outdoor bath. Here is the plan. And then I'm going to also have a shower. And it's going to feel like you're kind of surrounded by nature when you're in the bathroom. I just want to end on this beautiful deck. This has been the space 𝐾𝐿 and I, we've been having our coffees in the morning. We can overlook the kind of paddy melons, the little kangaroos. They like to hang out over there. And then, of course, overlook the view as well. I want to say a huge thank you to Zach for filming the video. Zach, is there anything else you want to add?
Wasn't there a toilet?
Some of you will know that was a bit of a lead in because we did show Zach the toilet space in the last video. I think that this toilet is a bit of a feature of the property. Would you agree, Zach?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're not on main sewerage, so we have a septic system here. If you look, here is the toilet for the property, the only toilet currently. I am probably going to try and install one in the new bathroom, mainly for guests that are a bit more worried about coming out to this in the dark, in the rain. There are snakes on this property too, so not to worry, not to scare anyone off this toilet. I love this toilet. Why don't I kind of just end with a little POV, guys? So I'm now sitting on the loo, and this is the view you get. Zach, you're an absolute legend. I cannot thank you enough for your help with this one. 𝐾𝐿 and I wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. Honestly, this place is a dream come true for me, and as you can tell, I'm just excited to be here. I hope you're excited too. Keep dreaming big, be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. I feel such like a, what's that, Cribs? The Tours one.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yeah. Wow, his camera setup is heavy. Are you zoomed in on this? Well, hold on. Dude, I'm impressed with your arms. Is the fig next? Extremely lucky custodian of this land. Get to, whoa, I'm going down. That was not my bones. I really want to fly man pole this. So, this is a 500-year-old, I couldn't say 100. Damn it, was it going good? Now, if this is the first, once you start going, it's hard not to laugh.
Okay, not your best angle.
Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. It's coming. Oh, now it's not gonna come.
Oh, that's gonna really stuff with you now.
Very unsatisfying. Okay,